Another day and another day dedicated to alcohol. So today is another drink we will be looking at, and as I have said in the previous video, I don't really drink much alcohol. So right now we are experimenting on what we need to do to make alcohol taste good. What can we do so that we actually like to and would like to drink alcohol? I don't drink much alcohol myself, so these recipes are still a bit diluted. They're not so harsh, there's not so much alcohol in it, but you can still taste it and you should still be able to feel that warmth that you get from the alcohol. And recently I experimented a lot with coffee. So I have been doing a lot of different syrups and creams and milk and peppermints and chocolate and everything. So I was thinking, what about coffee? And I have made an Irish coffee before. I've done it with my parents before. We usually do it when we have a party where we need something else to drink afterwards with a bit of booze in it. And I quite like it. I don't think it's too harsh, but that's also because we use a very easy recipe where you kind of choose yourself how much you want of alcohol and sugar in it. Nonetheless, as I said, it is Irish coffee today, and I have again taken down some video. I have taped some video for you guys so you can actually see how we are going to make this. But let's get straight into the actual recipe. So the recipe takes about 10 minutes to make, and this one is only one drink. And the reason it takes so long is because I brew my own coffee. If you use normal coffee or instant coffee, it won't take as long as this will. But you will need 2.5 deciliters of coffee, 0.4 deciliters of whiskey, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and then lightly whipped cream for the top. That is of course optional. You can also just choose not to put it on at all, but I think it's extra nice to actually use it. So you start with making the coffee. And I just make a can usually, and then I either drink too many Irish coffees, or I choose to just drink it as normal coffee or share it as normal coffee with someone else. But I usually brew a whole can of fresh coffee. I feel like that gets a much nicer taste. Then you whip the cream very lightly so it kind of oozes out when you put it on top. So it doesn't have to be whipped very much. Third step is to put in the brown sugar. Then you pour in the coffee and simply stir until this has dissolved. And when you have dissolved the sugar in the coffee, you can pour in your whiskey. And then lastly, you will top it off with the whipped cream. So these are the things that I usually use when I make an Irish coffee. I don't really go directly for this recipe, that's just for you if you like the measures. I usually just do it kind of, well, I would call it the Danish way, so we will say en skefuld brun farin, fyld med kaffe, et skvæt whisky og fløde på toppen. So that would be like just 1 spoonful of brown sugar, then fill it with coffee, put in a dash of whiskey, and lastly top it with cream. So that's kind of the Danish recipe I usually go for. So if you don't want the actual measures, just want to make it kind of out there, just kind of do it without a recipe, kind of go wild, you can do that too. I usually just do it kind of how I feel like I like it. So you can use that Danish recipe too if you don't like the actual measures. But I really like this coffee. I feel like it gives a bit of a kick and it gives this sweet feel but without being too sweet. I actually really like it, both regarding like if you think of it as coffee, but also if you think of it as alcohol. So I feel like it's very good in both ways, and I definitely, perhaps once in a while I just drink it too much, and I know that, but I really like it. And again, we are experimenting with alcohol here, so if we can make it drinkable, that's kind of the whole deal. That's what we're aiming for, that's what we're trying to do. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I would love to hear if there's any other drink recipe you would like to hear about, you would like to see, then I will perhaps try it if I think I know how I can do it. And otherwise, if you like this video, you should give it a thumbs up. You can choose to subscribe to stay for future videos, or you can ring the bell. Then you get notified whenever I upload something. So that is again all for these small recipes, and I just hope you all have a happy life one day at a time.